Hello, my name is Olivia from Olivia's Catastrophe, and today I'm here to give you a book review of My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix. This is a horror novel, and I don't usually read horror, so let me just try and do this review. I actually really did enjoy reading this book. It follows two main characters, Abby, who is a teenager, but she starts off as a child but very quickly goes to the teenager stage and then stays a teenager, and also her best friend, Gretchen. And what happens is, you can tell from the title, My Best Friend's Exorcism, events lead up to Gretchen becoming possessed by a devil, and she starts to do some really disturbing things. And it's basically Abby trying to get the devil out of her, and an exorcism is kind of the only way you've got to go when it comes to that kind of thing. I won this book in a giveaway, and I was very intrigued to start it, because first of all it's set in 1988, and I know lots of people think about Stranger Things when I say that, but I haven't seen that series yet. It does a very good job of that setting. You know, you get all of the things like roller skate parties, E.T. kind of settings. They live in a very prejudiced kind of place as well. All these rich people, even though Abby is from a lower class, and you know, all these standards of keep your virginity and don't have boyfriends and women should be a certain way. So you kind of get to see these prejudices mentioned and as a backdrop to the situation in this book. I also really liked that all the chapter titles are lines from songs that were popular at the time. It took me a while to catch on because I actually don't usually read chapter titles, which is not a good thing, but I always forget to read them. But once I caught on, I was like, oh, that's a lovely extra thing to add in there. I thought this book was very creepy. Maybe it's coming from someone who doesn't read or watch horror movies or horror books, but for me, I found it just sinister enough. And for the first half of the book, the reason why I found this so creepy was that it was utterly realistic. If you take out the whole devil situation and Gretchen is possessed by a devil, these things could still actually happen. You can still have someone who hates you enough to try and manipulate everything around you. And because it was just so realistic, like these terrible things could happen. Someone could want to do this to you and pile the evidence against you like this so that you feel isolated, alone, and you're being implicated for all these things you didn't do. Just because that was done so realistically, this book creeped me out to another level. However, when it came to the more demon kind of things, the supernatural, and we found out there was actually a demon, and it came to the whole exorcism stage, I was a little bit less creeped out because I knew it was more like a supernatural, paranormal kind of thing. The realistic element was what actually creeped me out in this book. The suspense just went up and up and up the further we got into the book, as Gretchen's plans and her evil plans kind of will fall into place and start working out the way she wants them to, and just Gretchen turns into this horribly disturbing person who is so different from the person we meet at the beginning of the novel that it shook me. I was shook to the core. It was written pretty well and the style was pretty suited. At the beginning of the book, when you first open it, it's like yearbook kind of thing, because this all happens during secondary school, and I like that setting of, you know, the yearbook, but other than the first 2 pages it doesn't really pursue that anymore, which was a bit of a disappointment because I did enjoy seeing it. But other than that, the writing style was pretty good. It was mostly straightforward, not overly descriptive. Dialogue was really important because of what was being said, and the setting was just woven so well into the story that it was effortless, so I really did enjoy reading the actual book itself. I also, as I've been digging books for friendship lately, loved Abby and Gretchen's friendship, or the parts of their friendship that we see before the whole demon possesses them. They're so tight, even if they're in a group of friends where there's like 4 of them and not just them 2, they're just so tight. They know each other in and out, and they would literally do anything for each other, and friendships like that are so valuable, so I just really loved reading about the friendship. There was one thing I didn't really like about this book, and that was the ending. I felt like the book had a bit of a rushed ending, and it was kind of a happily ever after ending. I don't think it should have ended so conveniently and so well for the characters. I felt like there should have been some more repercussions of everything that happened, or that their friendship would have been a bit tainted from this experience, because, you know, when Gretchen was a devil, she was just horrible to Abby, and I mean, Abby knows it wasn't her, but it still would have left some kind of impression. I think something should have changed to some extent. I just felt like the ending was a little bit too happily ever after, and the ending kind of spanned too many years. So if they just narrowed down the timeline a little bit, I think I would have been able to enjoy the end to this book a little bit more. This was a pretty short review, but there's not really much more I can say about this one, and it's not my usual genre, so I don't know what more to say. It was quite character driven, a bit of plot action, creepy up until around the ending, I would say. And yes, it also had a very interesting take on religion and how religion was woven into it. I don't really have anything to say, but I mean, if it's a book dealing with like devils and exorcisms, of course there's going to be some element of religion critique or religion included in it, I guess. That was so unclear. I hope you guys understood. Okay, well, that is that. Anyway, so in the comment section below, please let me know if there's a genre that you don't usually read, and if there's a genre that you're trying to read a bit more of, like me, trying to get into horror. If you've got any horror recommendations, also let me know down below, because I'm looking to try some more. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit that like button if you enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button if you want to see more, and do not forget to hit that notification bell if you want to be updated every time I have a new video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye!